Nathan go merere te lawa, go ngai tabua, ando talita kana vararonga na Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Nisayandra Vinaka and good morning Fiji. In this bulletin, news to DELPA leader plans way forward. PM sets record straight on native land. And topper scholarship available only for studies locally.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The News to DELPA leadership believes the way forward for the party is to focus on issues rather than continuously talk about the disunity amongst the members. William Ngavoka says there is no denying the fact that unity has always been an issue amongst SADELPA members. But Saturday's annual general meeting gave everyone a chance to present their grievances openly. Josiah Nunga has the story.
There were heated exchanges between SADELPA members as they tried to make their objections known during yesterday's AGM.
The General Secretary and the President opened up the floor to anyone who wanted to express their views. And the gloves were off. At a certain stage of the meeting, the gloves were off. But towards the end of it, we agreed that we are in this together. We have to win in 2022, and unity is the message that we are all taking back to wherever we come from.
Ngavoka adds, moving forward, the party will focus on 3 issues to bring unity among members.
Number 1 is the economic enhancement of the Itoke. Under that umbrella, everyone will benefit. GDP will grow. Everyone will benefit, every community in Fiji. Number 2, free education to tertiary level. Everybody in this country. And number 3 is an enhanced, improved health system. Those 3 main issues will be driving the dialogue for SADELPA in the next couple of months. So we focus on those issues, factionalism will fall by the wayside.
He believes these issues will be able to attract more party supporters in the lead up to the next election.
Yeah, those are the 3. They're very broad. They can generate dialogue in this country all the way to 2022 and help bring back people believing that this party stands on some very good policies.
Deputy Leader Filimoni Wosorongo is confident the members will be able to put their differences aside and work as a team in time for the election.
I think so. We believe in our ability to pull the strengths of this party together. We have 24 months to work on that, and all we can see from today's support towards the end is everybody's commitment, all the 28 constituencies' commitment to ensure that the unity within the party is preserved and that the war that needs to be won is the general election of 2022.
The constituencies have numbers that are sufficient to bring us into parliament. The big ones like Suva and Nasinu will have 4 or 5 more candidates. But for all the constituencies, we will be looking at one to give us that seat.
The 2 leaders want to ensure the right strategies are formed for the party. The deputy leader has emphasized they want to formulate a manifesto which they will convince people to support them in the 2022 general election. Josiah Nunga, FBC News.
Prime Minister Anita Kailan Trust Board Chair Vurenge Bainimarama has hit out at opposition MP Nico Nawaikula, who in a social media post claimed that native land is no longer safe. Speaking on the Radio Fiji 1's Nanonda Prime Minister program, Bainimarama says Nawaikula is making a mockery of himself and his opposition counterparts over unverified information that is creating a lot of confusion amongst Fijians. The Facebook post on the 7th of this month, Nawaikula warns Fijians about government interference in the affairs of Ithal Kailan Trust Board and the Lao Provincial Council. However, the Prime Minister has clarified the Provincial Council meeting was not held in October and assured Fijians that every piece of land they own is safe. He adds land will only be taken for government development projects after thorough consultations with landowners.
In my capacity as the chair of TLTB, I want to inform landowners to rest assured that all native land is protected in our villages, clans in particular, under the 2013 Constitution. This is always part of the agenda when TLTB officers conduct awareness in communities and provincial council meetings that nothing has been changed regarding land protection.
The Tertiary Education Loan Scheme Board will not offer scholarships for studying overseas in 2021. Chief Executive Bobby Maharaj says due to the COVID-19 pandemic and related travel restrictions in place, all national topper scholarships are only available for studies locally. The TSLB gives 600 scholarships under this scheme every year.
In the last 2 years, we had 20 scholarships that we were giving for overseas studies. But due to these restrictions in terms of border controls and so forth, we have decided to suspend the National Toppers Overseas Scholarship Scheme for 2021. So we got 600 NTS local scholarships distributed in 10 categories.
The categories include technology, infrastructure, education, social science, agriculture, town and country planning, commerce and diplomas and certificates in special areas. The 4 staff, including the acting head of Queen Victoria School in Tailevu, who was suspended following allegations of child abuse, have been replaced. The teachers were suspended after 4 students were allegedly stripped naked and had chilies rubbed on their mouths and private parts. It's alleged this was punishment directed by an assistant principal after the students took leave without permission. Education Minister Rosie Akbar says they have replaced the staff to ensure that learning is not affected.
I've said it on numerous occasions, personally and as a minister. Ministry of Education has policies where such behavior is not tolerated. So we will neither tolerate it nor condone it. And I hope this serves as a warning to the teachers out there.
The Fiji Police Force has confirmed that they received complaints against 2 teachers and they have been questioned. Spokesperson Ananai Soro also says 4 students were initially reported as victims. However, only 2 cooperated with the investigation. The investigation file will now be submitted to the Director Criminal Investigations Department for further guidance. Dealing with victims of domestic violence at workplaces is one of the major challenges for human resource personnel. This was confirmed by the Fiji Human Resources Institute President Kameli Mbatiweti, who highlighted that domestic violence cases continue to rise in the country. He says the institute is now looking at ways to help its members address the matter. Mbatiweti says domestic violence needs to be addressed immediately as it also affects workplace productivity.
Is how do you address, first, how do you recognize the signs of the victims? And so Mr. Nadola talked about presentism. That's one of the outcome of domestic violence. And so the employee is at work, but not there. So productivity is affected.
The Fiji Met Services is now training its officers to move away from the traditional ways of predicting weather to impact-based forecasting. Director Terry Atalifo says this is being done as Fiji is expecting at least 1 severe tropical cyclone this season, which will likely be Category 3 or above. Atalifo says Fijians should always keep themselves updated with the latest weather reports, as Fiji Met is working on reducing the loss of lives and livelihoods during tropical cyclones. Atalifo adds the Met Office is fully geared up for the cyclone season and are working closely with the National Disaster Management Office.
We make sure that our operations, that everything is running, functioning well, so that we can withstand. So our equipment can withstand when cyclones passes through Fiji.
Up ahead, Fiji FA to decide on abandoned match. And Fiji Sevens players show interest in 15s.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The The Lambasa Town Council will do everything they can to get Subrail Park back in shape for the weekend's Vodafone Fiji FAX semi-finals and final. After an urgent meeting yesterday, the Fiji Football Association decided to postpone the semi-finals to this weekend due to the unplayable ground condition. The Fiji FA has booked Subrail Park for the upcoming weekend. However, the decision will be made after reviewing the weather condition.
There's an early notice to the fans who will be travelling to the ground. And I want the media to notify immediately, please don't travel this weekend. We will notify in coming week, that is by Monday or Tuesday, to make a decision whether we'll continue with the tournament in Lambasa.
The Savo football side won the Fiji FA President Cup in Wailevu yesterday. Savo beat Ndongo 5-4 on penalty kicks after the two teams were locked 1-1 at full time. This is the first tournament of its kind for the senior division, and former national rep Tony Kambakoro, who is also the Savo FA President, says it's a good initiative.
I think this is a good opportunity for the premier teams. Getting involved with the tournament. Normally we're just going out there to watch the game, but now since we're involved, the boys are pretty happy, and it's good for football in the north.
A few members of the Fiji national men's sevens side have shown their interest to join the 15's code. This includes Captain Ratumeli Ndernalangi, Daniela Sandrungu and Rusiate Nasove. With these heavyweights eager to join the 15 circuit, the Fiji Rugby Higher Performance Unit is now working to align both codes to produce the best athletes to compete on the world stage.
So we've got guys like Rusiate Nasove, we've got Sandrungu. We've got another guy, Captain Meli Ndernalangi, that have interest in playing 15s, so we'll monitor them. There's obviously those priorities, but we're not working as separate programs. From the high performance, we're about creating the best athlete for both programs.
Tamavoa Celtics will be out to stamp their mark in the ongoing Digicel Silver Volleyball League competition. Back to the court after a few years, the Celtics are tagging themselves as underdogs. Club Secretary Alipate Tumberi says they were once the top team in the Silver Volleyball Association and want to return to that status.
The main objective is to get the exposure and also to try and give a good challenge to all these dominating teams in the Super Volleyball competitions.
And a quick look at the weather map for today. It is Monday, the 30th of November. It's a brand new week, end of the month, and almost the start of end of the last month of the entire year. Fine apart from brief showers are to be expected over eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from possible afternoon or evening showers. Moderate southerly winds, fresh at times, moderate to rough seas. And that is your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. FBCnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.